Thank you, Kristen, for being willing to join me today on this series, this showcase series of experts on anxiety and confidence. And first, I'd like to introduce you. Kristen Ulmer is a thought leader on anxiety who draws from being the best woman extreme skier in the world for 12 years, from studying Zen for 16 years, and from facilitating thousands of clients. The author of The Art of Fear, Kristen facilitates and speaks about anxiety all over the world. Clients include Google founders, Citigroup top brass, Olympic athletes, and the U.S. Air Force. So here we go, Kristen. I want to ask you about anxiety and confidence and your approach and what you think works best in working with anxiety with folks who want to be more confident.
Okay, I love this, and I know I only have 10 minutes, so I'm going to be as succinct as possible. I'm going to introduce myself. I'm going to tell you exactly what anxiety is and what to do about it that is completely new and revolutionary and out of the box and unlike anything you've ever heard about before. So first of all, who am I and why should you listen to me? Well, my name is Kristen Ulmer. I'm a fear and anxiety expert. And my education and background on how I became that is unlike anything else. I didn't learn about what to do about fear or anxiety from professors in school. I'm not just repeating the same stuff that the self-help gurus, doctors, or psychologists have been repeating for years. This is from personal experience. During my ski career, what is extreme skiing? What is that? Well, it's whenever you risk your life, like where the consequences of failure are death. So I made a living doing something where if I failed, I would die for over 12 years. And so I was dealing with a tremendous amount of fear, anxiety, and I learned very, very clearly what to do about it and what not to do about it. And the things that we should not be doing about fear or anxiety is exactly what our culture is teaching us to do. So let me back up. Here's what anxiety is. Anxiety is just another name for fear, or specifically anxiety is recirculating fear.
Mm.
And how it comes to be is we have this amygdala, two almond-shaped nuggets at the top of the spine, the oldest part of the brain, determining safe or not safe. And it's the manufacturing plant for fear. And if there's a perceived threat, it'll manufacture fear, and it's supposed to flow, and this is proven by science, the fear is supposed to flow into, through, and out of your body like water through a hose. And so long as the threat is there, the fear will be there. But once the threat is gone, then the fear is also gone 10 to 90 seconds later, also proven by science. So here's the thing though, all data comes into your system through this primary filter first called the amygdala. And to the amygdala, everything's a perceived threat. So as a result, this flow of fear is with us pretty much all the time, every single moment of every single day. So how you deal with that fear becomes very, very important because it's such a huge, normal, natural part of life. And what we're taught to do about the fear, which the language, is we're taught to conquer and overcome it, triumph over it, rationalize it away. It's just false evidence appearing real. Like all these things that we do to try to get rid of fear or rush through the process or breathe in calm, get rid of the fear, replace it with something more positive. All those things that we do disrupts this system and causes problems. The fear flow is very, very simple, but we get in our heads about it. We try to deal with it intellectually, like rationalizing it away. All of these things, including breathing exercises, meditation, yoga, like all these things that we do to calm that fear response down, is actually causing the rampant anxiety crisis we face in the world today, because all of a sudden that flow gets kinked, like water, through a hose, the hose gets kinked, and then the fear gets trapped in your system and gets stuck there and just starts recirculating round and round. And then it shows up in one of three ways, either as anxiety, recirculating fear, or panic attacks or irrational fear, basically an exaggerated version of itself. Or it'll show up redirected in other ways that don't even seem like fear at all, such as anger. If you don't want to feel fear, well, you have to feel something. You feel anger instead. Or sadness. This is where depression comes from. The other thing it'll do is trapped water, when it gets stuck in your system, will start to flood into every available nook and cranny, and then it'll flood into your thoughts. And now you have fearful thoughts, or you have insomnia, fear waking you up in the middle of the night. You do not want to stop the flow of this fear through your body. And all of these things that we're taught to do, getting outside in nature, exercising, yoga, all great things. I recommend all of them, but I do not recommend them as treatment for fear or anxiety, because it's just yet more ways to not deal with your fear. We say that these are ways to deal with our fear and anxiety, but it's actually ways to not deal with our fear and anxiety or run away from it. So what I recommend and what I found works with my clients that is just completely life-changing is, first of all, get to know your unique relationship with that flow of fear. Are you in your head all the time thinking about it? If so, that's a way to not have to feel it in your body. Do you run away from it? Do you make yourself so busy, or you get really into shopping, or, you know, just anything that kind of distracts you, cleaning, you know, from having to feel that feeling? Are you a fear avoider? Do you avoid doing anything that would justify more fear showing up in your body? And if so, you don't take any risks. 7.5 billion different people, there's 7.5 billion different ways of kind of dealing with that flow of discomfort called fear through your body. Getting to know that is the most important part, because once you get to know your unique relationship with fear, most of your behaviors can be explained. And if you have a compromised relationship with the flow of fear, it actually is going to help you understand why you have any kind of issue in your life, be it emotional, psychological, physical. Even if you have physical issues, you do not want to stop that flow in your body. It really creates a bad host environment, an ideal host environment for illness to thrive. I had a lot of injuries during my ski career because I stopped that flow, and my body became really rigid. You know, you become a really arrogant person to not feel your fear. Just so many problematic behaviors can be explained once you get to know your unique relationship with that fear. That's the first step to turning this around. You can't see what you can't change what you can't acknowledge. You have to first acknowledge what your unique relationship with that fear is. Is it compromised in any way? So get to know your relationship with fear. Second step, we don't want to deal with it intellectually. We want to learn actually how to deal with it emotionally. We want to learn how to feel it. We want to learn how to embrace it. We want to learn how to become intimate with it and not be in resistance to it like we've been taught. Now, this is very hard to do. It's counterintuitive, like that uncomfortable feeling in our body. We want to embrace it. Like, how do we do that? Well, how you start to do that is change your language. And this is my third hot tip. Change your language about how you talk about fear. Change your perspective on how you see fear, from it being a negative to actually being a positive. Instead of a pessimistic view about fear, as it's something, a problem to be solved or something negative in your life, you know, that there's no opportunity in that. But actually seeing it as a positive, like, I am supposed to be feeling this. It's actually a sign that I'm on the right path to doing something magnificent, because no learning and growth happens unless you're out of your comfort zone where there exists more fear. The fear is actually like this really wonderful emotion that helps us bring our A game to everything that we do. Like, back to my ski career, when I would be standing at the top of a 55-degree slope and they're filming from the helicopter, and it's $50, and it might avalanche and I could die on this slope, and, you know, the pressure's on and to perform and all of that. And I'd never been on this slope before. A helicopter dropped me out. Like, it's very, very scary. So what people tend to think that we do, these extreme athletes like myself back in the day, is that we just didn't have fear, which wasn't true. Absolutely, we had fear. Or that we were really good at blocking it out. And there are a lot of athletes that do block it out, but they have a lot of emotional health issues. Maybe they have PTSD when they, about 10 years into their athletic career. The best of the best of the best, though, what they do is they have an intimate relationship with that fear. And extreme sports are actually notorious for taking people into the zone. And it's because of the fear. Like, we don't do these sports despite the fear. We do it because of the fear. Because if you have an intimate relationship with your fear when you're doing something scary, and mind you, this is also applies not just to extreme sports, but this applies to giving a speech, launching a business, having a child, like you name it, anything that's scary. If you have an intimate relationship with fear, then you're going to not only be in your body, you know, you're going to, which is a better place from which to perform, but you're also going to be kind of tapping into a flow state or the zone or a higher state of consciousness. Like, that fear actually takes you into the zone and little else does. Like, me plus fear equals super me. It's like I'm Batman and fear is Robin,
Mhm.
right? We're stronger together than apart. So can you see that I only see fear as a good thing?
Mhm.
When you see fear as a good thing, and when you're willing to have that intimacy with the fear, then the fear actually becomes your asset and an ally out there in anything that you do.
Yes.
So am I running out of time?
Well, we're there, but I want you to be able to complete your thought and to really feel like you've made your message really clear, because to me you have. And I love the idea of the visual that you did about the hose and how it just recirculates, and then that's where the damage comes. And then the whole idea of just getting to know in such a way that it's part of you, it's you, it's your power, actually, I feel. But continue. You were going to say something else, Kristen?
Yes. So just to conclude, nature did not get it wrong. Fear is actually an amazing part of our human experience. It's just our misguided way of treating it that has caused the emotional health issues around the fear. So just to back up, and my three hottest tips are: get to know your unique relationship with that flow of fear in your body. Is it compromised in any way? Second tip, let's put it this way: change your language around how you talk about fear.
Yeah.
You know, use inclusionary, optimistic language, like, I want to feel fear. You know, if you're used to saying, don't let fear get in your way, start to say, don't let your avoidance of fear get in your way. Um,
Yes.
just start to talk about fear as if it's like your best friend.
Uh-huh.
And then the third tip is to learn how to feel it, embrace it, and be intimate with it. And that way it stays in your body and you're in flow with it. It never goes into your mind. It doesn't show up redirected in other emotional health issue ways, and it doesn't become an exaggerated version of itself. It's just shows up the way nature intended, and then it's gone out of your, kind of like animals, you know, they don't have a compromised relationship with fear. They're back eating grass in a field after something scary, like nothing happened. Like,
Mhm.
that's your goal. That's it. Those are my three top tips. And my name is Kristen Ulmer. My website's KristenUlmer.com. I have a free fear and anxiety assessment on my homepage that will help you do the first step, which is get to know your unique relationship with fear. You know, is it compromised in any way? I recommend that as a first step, and something to help you with the first tip that I gave you, which is kind of raise your antenna and get to know your unique relationship with this very misunderstood emotion.
Yes, 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 yes. Thank you, Kristen. That was it was just brilliant. And I love being able to introduce you to the world that knows me. So I will be back in touch.
And
Yes, what?
confidence.
Uh-huh.
If you have confidence in fear, you are a confident person.
If you have, let me say that again. If you have confidence in fear, yes, yeah. I mean, it's like you are in the middle of fear, and that's where your confidence is. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's like, here's my buddy fear, and I have confidence that you have my back and that you're here to help me, you know?
Uh-huh,
But
uh-huh.
it's like, okay, I have no confidence this guy is going to totally destroy my speech, right? You're not going to have any confidence. But if you have confidence that fear has your back, you're going to do just fine.
Yeah, it's all about relationship to all of yourselves, all the parts of yourself. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much, Kristen. Bye.